Starting. Just a moment. Live. No, there's a delay. You guys smile or something.
Smiling.
Alright, you were live.
Alright. Hello everybody, welcome to the Techno Sense, episode 1 I believe. It's our first one yet, so way to go. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Wild Looping Media, for hosting this wonderful tech show that we're about to do. So I very much thank Wild Looping Media for that. If you have any questions or anything like that, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever floats your boat.
Right.
So I guess we'll just jump right into it. Do you want to start off with one?
Well, I'd like to introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, probably introduce yourself. That might be good.
All right. Hi, I'm Aiden Fisk. I believe my title is Uber Tech Tuber. That means nothing. And
I'm Glenn Cottam. I'm apparently not RoboCop. Hopefully.
No.
Yeah. I think that's it.
all right. Well, let's get right into the talking points you have listed.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
You go first. You got more topics.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So, Glenn, did you watch the Bethesda E3 conference?
I saw bits and pieces. I was a little busy.
All right. Well, I've got a few highlights here because I was there watching it live. Like a lot of people, I was excited for the Fallout 76 reveal, which, as tradition, they kept sort of the big stuff until the end. But there was a few interesting bits leading up to it.
Do you have a link to that you want to put in chat?
Yeah, I've got a link. I'll throw it in chat here if people want to read along with the article I have.
If you put it in YouTube, I'll put it in Twitch.
I've thrown it into the YouTube one if you'd like to follow along. This is just a minute-by-minute play-by-play of the conference. I'd like to touch on a few of my favorite moments. Alrighty.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
Go for it.
So the conference started off with the, I believe it was Rage 2, which is their sequel to Rage. I believe they had I forget the name of the band they had, but they had it was one of those heavy metal bands, which was a bit odd for E3. One of the funny things, if you go back and watch the actual conference, is that the audience is very low energy. Like, they're just not into it at all. Which is funny, because you have this heavy metal band rocking out, and people are like, yeah, cool, that's happening. Yeah. So there's that. Rage 2 actually looks pretty cool in the long run. It's sort of like a post-apocalyptic, almost Mad Max style game, like vehicle combat and stuff.
I played Mad Max, but I haven't played the first. No, I tried the demo on the first Rage. It was quite interesting. Yeah. Didn't want to shell the money for it though. Sorry, Rage.
Yep. I haven't played Rage either. So. Yeah. So that's how they started off the conference. Something cool that I'm kind of into is the new Doom Eternal, is their upcoming Doom game. I believe it's a remake of Doom Hell on Earth, if that means anything to you.
Is that the older ones?
It's one of the older ones.
The ones that was before my time and your time?
Yeah. Before my time, yes. No, Doom Hell on Earth, it looks pretty cool. It's sort of like this hell has come into Earth, so you get like these tentacles crawling up buildings and stuff. So
interesting.
The original Doom was pretty good.
I really like the original Doom. I still play it actually today. It was released 2 years ago.
Yes.
A little while ago, so still a really good game if everybody wants to play it who hasn't got it yet. Definitely recommend the original Doom, and just, I guess when the new Doom comes out, get that one too, because that one's probably going to be even better. So
this stream is not sponsored by any of these. Who's talking from?
Sponsored by Doom.
Yeah. So here's something interesting. Alrighty. Bethesda's game Prey is coming out with a free DLC, Moon Crash, which is sort of like almost like a roguelike, I think, where you can start off and then try and make your way through an endless mode of monsters and stuff.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
But what's interesting is they're adding VR support.
Ooh.
So I haven't played Prey, but I've heard okay things about it. What's exciting is they're adding almost like a prop hunted game mode. Because one of the main things in Prey is you have little aliens that mimic different objects and stuff. So what that effectively means is it's going to be like a VR prop hunt.
Yeah, that'd be really great.
It would be
because
cool.
Prop Hunt was a big hit like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I
back
think.
in Gary's
Yeah.
mind. I can finally live out my VR fantasies of being a lamp, which is something that I've dreamed of, and I know many other people have as well. Da-da-da. Yes, the name of that is Typhon Hunters, I believe. They announced a new Wolfenstein. I never played Wolfenstein.
I played the original Wolfenstein.
The original Wolfenstein?
Yeah, back when PCs had amazing graphics. Yeah, I had a lot of fun in that, especially when you found out there was cheats involved. Yeah, I played the original stuff. I played a little bit of the newer stuff, but not as much as the older one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of grew up on the older one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think the big announcement for Wolfenstein Youngblood was it was coming out on the Switch, which is interesting. Bethesda's really adopting the Switch as a platform. Like, I think Doom as well is coming out on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah. So
because that'd be really fun to play Doom on the Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really pushing the Switch titles this year. You want to talk about Fallout 76? Because this is quite the conversation topping point. So Fallout 76 is Bethesda's latest entry in the Fallout series, set in Vault 76, approximately 20 years after a nuclear bomb drops.
Do they say where it is? Like what?
West Virginia. So the map is 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is incredible. Multiplayer only.
I'm not sure if I'm going to like that.
I'm not sure if I like that either. It seems to be weird. There's been more information that has come out since the conference. But basically what it looks like is there are no NPCs in the game, aside from like holotapes and the occasional robots, which is a weird shift for the Fallout franchise. Traditionally, Fallout's always been sort of like a single-player role-playing game, even back to the...
Very single-player, yeah.
Yeah, exclusively single-player. And a lot of people aren't happy about that. Especially, during the conference, they announced that one of the main things of the game is going to be nukes, which are on the map that you can go to and send off and destroy other players' encampments and stuff.
That wouldn't be fun. I wouldn't like to like log on to Fallout and nothing's left.
Now they do announce that it's going to be more of like a base building game, and they're saying that it sticks to your character, not to a server, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
But it's, I don't know, it just seems weird to me. It doesn't seem to have that same, Fallout feel to it, you know?
Yeah, like the old survival type of stuff. Yeah, it's more of a, I don't know. A lot of games I find today are going more of the multiplayer sort of side of things. And sometimes it ruins the game. Like, I was a big fan of Halo for the longest time, till I couldn't own up to buy an Xbox One. But I would ask my cousin who would play it all the time. He said, no, the game's not really good. The actual storyline isn't that good anymore. It's more about the multiplayer, because people want to play the multiplayer, where I wanted the story, because I was always a huge fan of the Halo storyline. So.
And that being said, the new Fallout, especially in Fallout 4, just as the reference, because it seems to be the same engine, like graphically they seem identical. All the sort of gunplay in those games were fairly good. It's just weird because, I mean, you can't have VATS, so you can't have...
Yeah,
that's always been
cheating.
A staple of the Fallout series. It's just weird, and I don't really... I mean, I'm thrilled that they're experimenting with multiplayer stuff, but I think they're confusing the requests for co-op with the requests for multiplayer, because people don't want a multiplayer Fallout. They want a Fallout they can play with a friend or two, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're interested in trying Fallout 76, you can pre-order the game and get beta access when they announce that. So you can be part of the testing initiative.
It's interesting.
Yeah. That being said, you are shelling out $80 for the opportunity to potentially dislike a game. Yeah. Although the big announcement came at the end. They teased Fallout, or not Fallout.
Well, they did tease Fallout.
The new Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls 6. They did sort of like a panning shot of just zooming in on mountains, and then they popped the logo up. As far as I know, that game hasn't even started development yet. They're just teasing it.
They probably started development already.
Well, they're working on Starfield before that, which is...
That's true, too, yeah.
After Fallout 76, we really didn't get any new information about anything. They just sort of said, hey, we're working on this game. It's called Starfield. Enough about that. Oh, we're also doing a new Elder Scrolls game, because you've asked about that.
Yeah, just so you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. A lot of nice games coming out recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
a lot of stuff coming over to E3. So that's always good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll do one of mine now. So let me just get the link ready here. I'm just gonna copy it
Mm-hmm.
if I can. There we go. I'm just gonna post it in chat here. Bear with me here.
Then we get a
Did that
copyright
count?
claim
No,
because I've been helping a song.
Don't do that. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the first news topic I'm going to talk about is the Intel CEO resigning, which is a bit odd, as you would probably wonder. So basically, what's going on is that the CFO is now taking over the spot of CEO, the Chief Financial Officer, simply because the CEO is married, in fact, and but there was a consensual relationship going on between him and another employee, which in Intel is not a good thing. Actually, it's in one of the contracts, I believe, when working there that they sign is not to have a relationship of any type with another employee or an employee above yours or below you or whatever. So this definitely violates the Intel's non-fraternization policy. As far as stock prices, they have dropped some, but they have been bouncing back as well. So not a lot has been affecting this too much. So I will try to pronounce these names, but I cannot guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
I'm not going to even try it.
Krasavich.
There you go. So he used to be the COO before being tapped as the CEO to lead. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically that. I believe that it's definitely an interesting thing with all this, all the actors and whatnot became, coming, a lot of people coming out against the a lot of actors, with the whole, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's weird to see that the Intel CEO, the person that's been, fighting AMD for years now, is actually has to step down because of it. Not because of the same thing, but because of something similar to it. So it's a very interesting sort of dilemma, and I'm hoping that Intel actually gets some good products out there as well, because AMD has been trying to push them down a couple notches, because Intel's had the monopoly for years until AMD came out with the newer Ryzen chips and whatnot. So.
Yes.
I actually personally have a Ryzen computer upstairs, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. You want to go to the next one?
Certainly. So I don't have a link for this one, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But I was listening to the CBC radio today, and they were talking about indie game development, specifically a game called Hole.io and Donut County. You may have seen this as an ad on like Instagram or something. It's one of those games where you start off as a small hole, you go around and you eat things, and they become a bigger hole. It's sort of like
just like Slither.io, and what was the other one?
It's similar. I was thinking of comparing it to that that Japanese game where you're the little alien, you've got the ball, and you have to roll things up. Something. Yeah. So it's similar to that. But what they were talking about is there's another dev who created a game called Donut County, which is for all intents and purposes, a much more sort of filled-in game. Like, there's a lot more content. Like, there's characters and stuff. Anyway, the reason this is interesting is that he is an indie game developer. So, of course, like many indie game developers, he released trailers and footage of his game, before he had the finished product, because when you're an independent developer, you really need to advertise your games well in advance in order to get a proper pull. But as a result of this, this company that made Hole.io has essentially stolen his idea, mechanic for mechanic, thrown it out for free. So
it's similar to like the whole Fortnite, PUBG.
It's similar, yeah.
Where PUBG, made a game. I feel like PUBG was first, and then Fortnite Battle Royale came out.
Well,
and then
technically the first was Minecraft Hunger Games.
Well, yeah,
like way back in the day.
You know what I mean, though. But like PUBG was the first, bigger, more consumed, or more popular, I guess, game in that category, and then Fortnite came out, and I guess it's the whole same thing. And where I think PUBG tried to sue Fortnite, and they didn't. I'm not sure where that landed. Something like that, but.
Yeah, I haven't played Fortnite or PUBG, but there certainly are huge talking points. Like, you can't walk 5 feet without stumbling across a Fortnite whatever.
Yeah, I've played PUBG, and it's fun, but it's just not my multiplayer. I'm not multiplayer kind of game.
My internet connection at home is not great, so I stick to mainly single-player games, which is part of the reason why I'm a bit concerned about Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Is that I don't have a great connection, so I'm not going to shell out for a game that I'm not really going to be able to play.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah.
There's a big talking point around, like places, I wouldn't say around here, but there are some places around the world where the internet connection is not that bad, whether it be for, like, servers, across the seas, in spots that don't have the best internet connections, period, versus people that are downtown Toronto or whatever that have, or in the UK now. I think they're bringing out 5 gigabit internet now, which is insane. But so what it be?
So that just going back to Fallout 76 for a session, one of the more recent sort of updates they've given about it is that while it is a multiplayer-only server, and they do have dedicated servers for it, they are letting players host and run their own private servers.
That's kind of neat, yeah.
Which is, I say it's good, but you kind of have to, almost, if you think about it, because...
Yeah. That might be like, I guess, your like single player kind of game.
That's gonna be your single player experience.
Host your own server, figure that out.
Host your own server and kick everyone else that joins.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably gonna be like Gary's mod. Gary's mod is just mods. That's all it is, right? So, but people play that.
Well, you're gonna have to host your own server for mods and stuff.
Yeah. If they have mods.
Yes.
They better have mods.
They are gonna have mods. They're very.
Oh yeah.
Well, they said they're gonna have mods, but
they better have the workshop.
They might go. Yeah, like their Bethesda workshop, where it's like pay $5 for. Whatever,
I want to pay for mods.
Bethesda, when will you?
But I don't want to pay for DLCs either.
We don't want to pay for anything. We're cheap.
I want to pay for skins.
Alrighty.
Oh my. So is that you done with that one?
Well, I can go into there's another one that fits similar.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, no, don't.
So while we're talking about Bethesda and lawsuits, well, not lawsuits, but just sort of intellectual property violations and stuff. So Glenn, you've played Fallout Shelter before, right?
No, actually, I haven't. No, I played. Followed 3, New Vegas, and 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Fallout Shelter was the phone app they came up with back when they announced Fallout 4.
Yeah, I don't play.
It's sort of like a you manage your own vault and make sure everyone's fed and watered and stuff like that. Have you heard of the TV series Westwood or Westworld?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it too.
Good talking point.
Well, they came out with their own sort of version of the Fallout Shelter app. They just called it Westworld.
Oh yes, I've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bethesda has launched a lawsuit against them over stolen source code, believe it or not. Not just stealing the
source
idea.
Code.
Source code.
Oh, really?
So, Glenn, how do you think they knew that the source code was stolen? Like, just give me a rough guess.
Well, they probably took the app apart and looked at it and saw their license to Bethesda and their source code, I guess. I'm not too sure.
Suspicions were raised because during testing of the Westworld game, they found bugs that were in their original release of Fallout Shelter.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So good old Bethesda, they know what the bugs are, they just don't fix them.
Yeah, that's it's like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go into my topic. If you haven't guessed, Aiden does more of like the game topics, and I do more of the hardware topics. So one of the hardware topics I will go into here once I get it online, on the chat here. There we go, and send it to Twitch. There we go. Okay, so basically what has happened here is that a couple of months ago, Intel went and had a nice giveaway. They gave away some of the brand new i7 8086K. So the overclocking chips are one of the highest gaming rated CPUs on the market when it comes to Intel. So what happened is that AMD said, hey, our chips are better. Our Threadripper chips are better because they have more cores and they actually I think they're definitely a lower clock speed, but I think they're pretty darn close. But because the Threadripper has more cores, it's able to do a lot more than an i7 is. Even with, I believe it's 8 cores now that they're doing with the i7.
I believe it's 8 cores.
Yeah. I think, or is it 4 cores of hyperthread? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's one of them. So basically what's happening is that AMD said, hey, if you send your prize, you got from the giveaway, your i7 8086K into us, we'll give you a Threadripper. And I believe that Threadripper was the 1950X, which is the, at the time, the top most sought after, or the most powerful Threadripper platform, which is, I believe, 2 of the 1800Xs merged together. They're kind of glued together, which is quite interesting. So I believe they run at 4.2 gigahertz, and I think they have 16 core, 32 threads. So you get a lot of cores with that CPU. So perfect for streaming, while you're gaming, that sort of stuff. It's a really great CPU. So that's what happened there. Now with that, Intel actually came back. This is the funny part. Let me see if I can scroll down here.
I've got it up on here.
You got it up on here. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can scroll down for the users here. Yeah, so this is the tweet that they actually went and sent back, saying, so AMD went and posted a tweet saying, celebrating the past is neat, but here at AMD we're focused on the future in the next 40 years of high performance computing, and they of course they posted their get back, and then we scroll down a little more. We have the tweet from Intel saying, if you wanted an Intel i7 processor too, you could have just asked us. Thanks for helping us celebrate the 8086.
And it's nice to see these companies aren't bashing each other too much.
It's good to see them competing.
Yes.
Because I think that's what the consumers need right now is war on CPUs. Because Intel had that monopoly for years. And you couldn't go out and buy a CPU that had decent performance because there wasn't one. You couldn't just, just quite crazy, actually.
Yeah.
So for years, Intel had that CPU franchise. They were just, of course, everyone went to Intel because Intel was the company. i7, actually the whole i series of CPUs, they're competing against them, as well as the Xenon chips, which are server CPUs and workstation CPUs. So they're really kind of just wiping the whole platform clean with Ryzen, which is incredible. Which is amazing, and I believe, as an unrelated topic that I don't have any really real proof for, but I believe I think it's Snapdragon, or it's one of the Arduinos or something like that. They're actually trying to make an actual desktop CPU as well to compete.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting. I know that the Raspberry Pi is getting a nice upgrade too. I believe they're doing octa-core CPUs now for the Raspberry Pi.
Might have to look into that for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next week if we continue this.
Next week on Techno Sense, we'll have half the viewers.
So
right,
2.
Yeah.
No.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So that's basically that.
So Glenn, how did you do this Steam summer sale?
I actually scaved with nothing because I have no money currently, so it worked really well for me.
Yeah.
Because of last year's Steam summer sale.
Right. Well, for those of you that don't know, the Steam Summer Sale is a yearly sale put on by Steam, the games platform, and they have pretty decent discounts, up to 90% off.
Decent?
Well, I say decent.
Kidding me?
It's the reason you get into computer gaming is for the
it's the Steam Summer Sales,
yeah.
Yep.
So similar to you, I didn't have a lot of cash around the house at the moment, but I did look at a few games that were on sale and just sort of peeked into a few of those about what was going on.
I think the whole Just Cause series was heavily marked down.
Oh yes, yeah, no, I think
I got that in my feed. I went looking, but I didn't buy anything.
I took a look too. There was nothing that really stood out as this is a great deal. I need to get this.
Well, it was for me, but I didn't have any money.
No, I'm a veteran of the Steam sales. I've gone through a number of them, so I've got a pretty hefty library, as is. I did pick up the Jackbox party packs on sale because those are half off, and it's a fun game to throw up on the TV with family and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played Jackbox.
Never have.
Never have. All right. It's basically sort of like board games that you sit around and you have one computer on a TV and then everyone else is on their phones putting answers on them. It's a lot of fun, actually. I played it with my family the other day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I might have to look into it.
Yeah. Well, it's got streamer support. So
Yeah. That'd be good for like a Steam Link or even with your... I know that Steam Link actually that should be a topic I should put on there. Steam Link app.
Oh.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I got
Cool
that.
game.
Yeah. That's been a lot of fun. I've been playing that. Glenn, we're only half an hour in, and we're almost out of topics.
Yeah, I know, right? This is going way too fast. Maybe we should. Do we have a sponsor break? And now a word from our sponsors. And now we're back.
We don't have any sponsors?
We don't have any sponsors.
Well,
This is our first episode.
sponsor.
Well, we do have one sponsor. We have Wild Open Media.
That's right. Wild Loop
that
Media.
I said in the beginning of it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are graciously letting us use the studio. They've
And
got
the internet.
lights, cameras, some action, but
And the microphone.
yes, yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Should we? Is there anybody in chat? Has anybody chatted yet? No.
No.
No. Okay. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, post them in the chat. It's cool.
Yeah, seriously,
You know?
we like to have communication.
Because it looks like we're gonna have like an hour to engage with the audience. So.
We could just talk about stuff casually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cars. Cars are fun.
I don't
That's all
have my
I know about
license. Oof.
Oh my.
Well,
Well, I do have. I did that one. So I guess we'll really get into it now with something that hasn't been actually looked at closely in the computer industry. I don't even have a link for this because there is nothing. Our journalist, I'll shout out to my friend, actually our friend,
your friend,
my friend. Aiden hasn't met her yet. Daphne. Daphne.
Mine too.
Yeah, she's a great person. Daphne did some wonderful, wonderful journalism, and looked up some stuff for me. So this is gonna be good. So basically, I just asked her, like we're all actually being close to being affected here by the tariffs from President Donald Trump, and putting everything aside and everything like that. My question was basically, what is this gonna do to the computer industry? Like, it's got to have some effect, right? Like, you would think there would be. Anyway, so, right now there's not a whole lot of information because they've just been kind of, I wouldn't say thrown together, but they've just been kind of announced. There's no ground to them yet. They're not really, they're starting, but it's not enough yet to get in a lot of information. But we do know that there are going to be tariffs on touchscreens, batteries, and capacitors, which is like all of computers right there, especially our smartphones. So that's going to be not so good.
No, that's not going to be good at all.
No.
Because part of the problem with the whole just sort of Trump administration at the moment, not to get too political, is that it's really hard to find consistent information about what's going on because everything is, I'm doing
constantly
this,
shifting.
now I'm not.
Yeah.
It's sort of...
You have to be an avid reader of Twitter.
Yeah.
Again, not to get too political, but
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing because the way that we get our stuff is mainly through America, because they get stuff in from their imports, and then it's imported to Canada, also imported through through different places in Canada as well. But we do know that there are more tariffs being announced with the response of the Chinese counter tariffs, similar to like what Canada's doing with America as well, the whole trade war. But we already know that there are announced tariffs, and it's actually going to affect major startups in America. Not sure if you heard, but I believe Harley Davidson is pulling out of America.
I have heard of that. Harley Davidson is moving out.
So
The slick of rubber.
slicker rubber.
I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see if like Intel or any other U.S.-based company moves out.
I wouldn't
as
be
well.
surprised. Like, I know a lot of them are sort of based in China. Like, they have a lot of the factories and whatnot in China. But if they're putting tariffs around, like around China, and China's putting tariffs back, I would considerably see Intel and AMD's prices shoot any computer, company's prices to shoot drastically up.
Yeah. And that's the problem with the tariffs, is they really affect everyone, not just one country.
Yeah. And, with that being said, it might actually be good for us, too, at least for Halifax. Because if you think about it, with all the shipping and whatnot, there might be more shipping coming from the EU to Canada through Halifax. And, although prices might jump skyrocketing, we don't have tariffs on China.
We don't.
I don't believe so. I don't think that's how it works. We get our stuff through America, which gets their stuff through China. I think that's how that link works, because it's easier to ship from America to Canada versus shipping from China to Canada.
That makes sense.
So you might see like the ports in Canada, like both the west and east coast actually bring up their supplies.
I see.
Which is interesting. But again, we'll have to see. Only time will tell. And this could all be fake. I could be spewing a bunch of stuff that I don't know, which is probably true.
This is fake news.
Fake news. But we probably will see some prices rise for graphics cards, depending, again, on the tariffs and stuff.
Which
like
is a shame if you think about it, because the prices are just
They just dropped down.
Just dropped down. The
RAM prices just dropped down. Couldn't believe that the RAM I bought a year ago was, like, I bought it, I think it was like $200. And just before it started dropping, it was about $300. $350, I think.
Wow.
So it was a lot. Like, I was checking it because I wanted to buy more RAM for my computer.
Yeah. No, I've been looking at building a computer, but honestly, the prices of building a computer from scratch are...
Well,
like, it's...
everything right now is to the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but pre-built seem to be the way to go for getting in. If you're just getting into PC gaming, getting pre-built is almost like a better... For a price point, you can get some better deals and stuff, especially if you're going refurbished.
That's true too. Yeah. There's a lot of good things out there right now. Well, especially with people, a lot of the pre-built stuff is sort of going out of date now because people want to build their own computers.
That's true.
And even with the pre-built, you can shove a new graphics card in if you want, or a sound card, or whatever you want.
Exactly.
Right? So.
And a lot of the pre-builts now are advertising. Like, you can buy our computer and replace this part for a better experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Asus ROG, they make a new mini computer about the size of an Xbox. And one of their main selling points is that it's easy removal of the side to put in a new storage.
Yeah,
if you want to expand.
A lot of quick release stuff, sort of. Yeah,
a lot of quick release, a lot of empty slots to add more stuff in.
Yeah.
So that's good. I like to see them supporting those enthusiasts.
Cost more to buy computer parts coming from. Yes, most likely computer parts coming from America will be more expensive because of the tariffs. Yeah, not necessarily that's true because I'm not an economist.
I'm not a foreign advisor on the economy.
Yeah, so we don't really have any idea, but it very well could happen. We almost need like a legal team.
Yeah.
Hey,
hi,
anybody that knows?
I'm Ubertech tuber Aiden Fisk. Also, I have a degree in theoretical laws regarding foreign policy. I do expect there'll be I don't know if it'll be astronomical, because when the mining sort of crisis happened and all those...
It won't be as much as the mining crisis.
I
severely doubt it. Unless the companies do something that creates bad juju.
Yeah.
Which could happen, like with the whole memory thing that's been going on with, when NVIDIA tried to do that whole GeForce Partner program that was about to... Did you not hear about that?
I did not hear about the GeForce Partner program.
Oh, so a few months ago, NVIDIA came up with the GeForce Partner program that everyone got really... it was pretty sketchy, actually, because the whole thing is that NVIDIA right now has a very... good grasp on their suppliers right now. Yeah. Well, not their suppliers, but the people who buy the parts from them. Okay. So, say, Asus, Gigabyte, whoever builds cards from them. Mm-hmm. So the whole GeForce Partner program was to actually rebrand other cards from the manufacturer. So, say if Gigabyte had, what's Aorus? I think it's Asus. I think it is. Anyway. Say if you were able to buy an Aorus 1080 Ti or whatever, they would have to rebrand it and not use Aorus and an AMD name. They would have to use something else, which is really sketchy at the first place. And if NVIDIA said, or if the manufacturer said, hey, you know what? No, we're not signing this agreement. They'll just say, okay, you don't have any of your parts anymore.
Yikes.
So it was a bit sketchy there for a while, but that's what happened.
Wow, I
Yeah.
did not know about that.
Now, since then, I believe they have gotten rid of that because the whole entirety of Reddit PC Master Race decided to get into a bit of a fit.
Oh, yes. So, speaking about Reddit getting into a fit, this is something that I saw on the subreddits the other day. There's the subreddit Thanos Did Nothing Wrong. Have you heard of that?
No. I have heard of it.
have?
Yeah,
Alright.
sorry.
Well, basically, what it is, it's the new, I believe it's Avengers movie that just came out, the Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the movie,
No.
but well, basically the main bad guy of that thing, Thanos, has this plot. He wants to basically kill half of the population so that everything can be in balance or something.
Spoiler
like that.
alert.
Well, no, that's just his motives.
Well, you learned that halfway through the movie, though, so I guess it's more of a spoiler.
Is it?
Spoiler alert, just in case.
I don't know. Spoiler alert after the fact. Anyway, the subreddit Thanos Did Nothing Wrong is sort of like a satirical propaganda
Yeah.
subreddit where they're like, he did nothing wrong. Anyway, they announced that they're going to
Satirical.
try and replicate his purge of the population by banning half of their overall members. So,
I love it.
So when they announced this, they had 50,000 users. I think there's... I don't think it's
Probably
happening yet.
25,000 users now.
Oh, it's beyond that. They're up to like 200,000.
Oh,
at the
really?
moment. They've
Oh,
seriously jumped up.
Wow.
And I think there's still 2 or 3 days before they do this mass purge. So if you want to hop in
I
there
better-
and be banned...
Excuse me, I gotta go subscribe to something.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing to do, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, Reddit is one of those things that's just
Oh, yeah.
incredible. I'm not sure if it was on Reddit, but shout out to Corsair. A few months ago, I was reading a post. I think someone had I'm not sure if it was a fire or a boulder crash through their house, completely destroying like their whole game. Like it was almost focused on their gaming rig. And shout out to Corsair. They actually went and said, "Hey, there's new battle station," and they went and sent them a whole new battle station, which is incredible.
And those gaming companies like Corsair and Intel,
Love Corsair.
they're great. They're really great at just reaching out and interacting with the community. The most recent thing I've seen is that is it Hypercooler, the fan company? I think you
Cooler
said
Master?
Cooler Master.
Yeah.
That's it. They said, hey, we're going to give away a fan, and we're also going to challenge other tech companies to
Saw
give
that
away CPUs and stuff. So I'm not sure what it's up to now, but I think it's almost like a full computer they're giving away now.
Something like that. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible what the internet can do these days.
It's great what people can do when they work together,
Yeah.
not impose tariffs on.
Not impose tariffs on places that you shouldn't. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yep.
So kind of, I wanted to kind of indulge into a add-on point that I had here. The Steam Link app was actually launched a few weeks ago, a month ago now, I think.
Really?
It is for Android, and they tried to bring it out, I believe, for iOS, but I think there was something that Apple didn't want, though, or that Apple couldn't do it, or something like that. So I think it's just for Android right now. But basically what you can do is you can actually play games on your phone from your PC. So you can play Fallout 76 on your phone.
If you're like me and are going to be playing the new Fallout 76 game exclusively on your iPod, as Bethesda intended.
Yes.
Now this is, I don't know if you remember, NVIDIA came out with the NVIDIA Shield.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a very similar idea where you had this sort of portable controller with a screen on it so that it streamed from your computer to the device. And I have a Steam Link at home that I use a bit for streaming stuff from my Mac to the thing so I can sit on the couch with my controller.
Highly recommended if you like to sit on the couch with your controller and play games.
I mean, you could just use an HDMI from your computer, but it's...
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
you know, wireless.
It's wireless, right? So you could have your big desktop in one
Yeah.
room and your TV.
And if you have a VPN...
There's a list of things you
I
can
haven't
do.
got it to work yet, but I want to be able to link my desktop to my tablet, like using a VPN, and going to, like, you know, somewhere else. and playing my games from my desktop with my computer.
I think
Someone's done it. I know someone's done it.
I know someone's done it because I remember.
There's a Reddit post, I think.
I was playing Dungeons and Dragons a while ago, and one of my friends was talking about how they had set up using the NVIDIA Shield drivers. Actually,
Oh, okay.
they streamed their desktop to their MacBook. I think.
Yeah.
It's using like a Chrome extension, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's
That makes
interesting.
sense, yeah. The power of the internet and just random developers out there
yeah.
making open source stuff. Yeah.
It's great what the open source people are doing nowadays.
Absolutely. I have to greatly agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a good talk there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Glenn,
Go ahead.
I touched on D&D momentarily. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons at all?
Oh, I used to in my high school days, but not a lot anymore.
Well, I just got out of my high school days, so I can say the same thing. So Wizards of the Coast just announced, or rather revealed, their next campaign setting, which is exciting. So for those of you that don't know, Dungeons & Dragons releases every now and then a new adventure module. So it's like a pre-written adventure that you can go through as a dungeon master, and it saves you a lot of the prep work. So I just finished running the Curse of Strahd campaign, which is sort of like a vampire-themed horror adventure, basically. But it's a lot of fun, and they do a great job writing these. Yeah, it's over your head. You don't play.
I have no idea.
If you're into that sort of thing, it's pretty good. But they've just announced their next adventure is going to be called Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and they let loose little information regarding that. It's cool. It's going to be sort of like a city-based adventure, and I guess the central plot point of it is you're pulling off this bank heist. So the whole game is basically prepping for this big heist on a bank. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but there are like other people also trying to rob this bank, so you have to sort of try and undercut them or align with them, and it's
Interesting.
It's interesting. I can't wait to get a hold of it and read it for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting, yeah.
And I believe you have a link here for Multiverse Hobbies. I believe.
Oh, yes, we got to plug our wonderful helper, Daphne. So, Multiverse Hobbies. If you need a supplier for all your D&D needs, you can visit multiversehobbies.com. I'm going to throw that in the chats here. Just bear with me. There we go. And in YouTube. There we go. Check them out. Friend of mine made a website for all their cool stuff. They got lots of cool. Wow,
They have like
is that an
collectibles.
Infinity Gauntlet?
That is an Infinity Gauntlet. So you can replicate the Thanos
The finger snap.
mass purge.
Spoilers.
You say spoil. I really think it isn't a spoiler at this point.
Well, that was the end of the movie, though.
Was it the end of the movie?
Pretty sure it was. Or
I
very
haven't-
close to it, yeah.
What was Daphne's website again?
Multiversehobbies.com.
I actually have not seen Infinity War.
But you know the whole plot.
Yeah, because it's all been spoiled for me. Which probably
Yeah, I
means
was
it's
the
spoiled
same
for
thing.
everyone else.
I was the same way, I think, with, was it Avatar or something? No, I went to see
Really?
Avatar. It was one of them. One of the big movies. I was just browsing Reddit, and it was a new Star Wars movie. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I got spoiled by a friend of mine playing... this is actually a funny story. So I was at a friend's house for a New Year's Eve sleepover, and he had seen the new movie and didn't want to spoil it for us, so we were sort of tight-lipped about that. But he started playing Call of Duty. And I guess in Call of Duty you can have like your custom sprays or whatever. And one of them was
going.
it was a particular spoil, which was not great. Yeah, so Multiverse Hobbies, I'm just looking on the site right now. They've got a lot of different collectibles.
I remember a couple years ago, I was on, I think it was called Think Geek.
Think Geek, yes.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to that. But it's local.
Is it?
Yeah.
Think
well,
Geek?
Oh, not Think Geek, but Multiverse Hobbies is local.
Is it? Yeah.
So support.
Yeah. Certainly, if you need, I can see they have dice here, different board games, figurines. Oh, actually, I'll have to get one of these. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm looking through it, and I might have to go spend some money on the not Steam sales, but Multiverse Hobbies. They got a lot of cool stuff here.
I do like they have metal D20s that are cool. I actually have a set I got off of Etsy for Christmas. They're sort of like brass dice.
I might be able to.
Pretty good.
You're not displaying it right now, are you?
Not right now.
Yes.
Hold on, I messed up. I don't know what I'm doing.
None of us know what we're doing.
We
Come
know
on.
that.
There we go. Okay, hold on.
We still have 8 people watching, so no one's left,
I
which is
suppose
great.
I can do this. I'm going to do settings. Bear with me.
Bear with me.
Tasty water, isn't it?
Yes.
I got it from Bloomberg.
Another one never
What?
sponsored
Seriously?
wildly.
Yeah.
Or something, or...
Yeah, it's a nice spring.
Farm water.
Oh, I see.
Good, clean farm water. Sounds like an
Multi-use.
oxymoron.
Farm water is known for being clean and not having any problems with it. As far as I know. I know nothing. Yeah,
No problems at all.
no problems at all.
Let me
I was
just-
raised on farm water,
let
and
me
I'm
just full screen
fine.
it, and then you're good to go.
There you go.
There we go. So we see that we got action figures and board. Is that a Rick and Morty Clue board game?
Really?
Yeah, it's right on the first page.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Hold on, I gotta find it.
You can't afford it.
Yeah, Clue, Rick and Morty. Oh, they got Supernatural too.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
We got Yahtzee.
And it's on sale.
Wow.
Excuse me. Yeah, so my friend created this online shop. You can buy them and stuff like that. We'll have to get more information so I can plug her better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna retract that statement and technical difficulties. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in stuff like that, lots of cool stuff on there. Like again, it's kind of like ThinkGeek. If you ever gone on there, or there was another one like that. I'm not sure. There was a couple of stuff like that. So. But yeah, check them out because they apparently have some awesome stuff. So yeah. Where else is my here we go. So I think I got everything on my list here.
Yeah, I'm pretty much fresh out. So we're just winging it from here point on. If you have any comments about things that you've heard about and want our opinion on, I, of course, love to share my opinion on pretty much everything. So any tech-related comments you have. You know what? I have something I can talk about. I recently picked up the game Cultist Simulator, which is almost like a card game on Steam. It's not what you think, but it kind of is.
It sounds like what I. What do I think then?
So it's made by the developers that made the game Sunless Sea, if you've heard of that. It's sort of like, they do some really cool sort of Lovecraftian style games, and they're very well written, actually. I really like the atmosphere they create in them.
Interesting.
But in this game, you play someone trying to form a cult to a fictional, sort of Cthulhu-esque deity.
Okay.
But it's sort of like a card game, so you have your meters, and they tick down, so you have to keep those all satisfied, and do all sorts of things. It's pretty good, actually.
Interesting. Like I play a lot of like the I guess your regular games. I guess you could say like Follow, Just Cause. It's a weird hat.
Yeah, so for those of you off camera, Brian...
Why don't you come over here and say hi?
Our technician...
Our sponsor will come over and say hi.
Right, he's thrown on a comical elf hat.
It's the tech elf. There we go. Wild Loop and tech elf.
All right.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, he's doing something. Okay. No, I play a lot of like your
yeah.
regular sort of games. I actually just discovered that EA, unfortunately, has a nice platform called Origin.
Oh.
You've probably heard of it.
I forcibly had to uninstall that recently, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know if they can see you, Brian.
Items.
You can.
They can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll take your word for it. Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
see.
Okay, there
Look
he
at
is. There's the.
Fantastic. We have a bit of a
Elf.
delay on ours. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Just
always a
second
delay.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, going back to Origin.
Yep.
I discovered that they actually have a thing called Origin Access.
Okay.
And through Origin Access, I believe it's $30. I think.
That
I think it's
sounds
$30.
correct.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
I don't think it's a year or anything like that. I think it's $30, and then you're good. And you get a bunch of different games. I played Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, any real EA titles. My favorite so far is the original Battlefront, or this newer original Battlefront. That's a lot of fun. I don't like the online, and I don't like there's no campaign, but it's a lot of fun just running around, not doing anything, just taking out some walkers and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have Spore,
Spore is great.
which is just fun.
I like making those little creatures that sort of go around and do different things.
I kind of wish they was almost like I wish they would remake it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot, years ago, they had a wonderful, there were a lot of people on it, a lot of people playing it, and I wish they would remake it with a better creature creator, although it's really good as it is.
It is fairly.
But with some new features, new parts, like Parts Pack, they could do one heck of a job with parts and DLCs and whatnot. They can make a lot of money off of that. And they should honestly get back into it, because it was a lot of fun for people who like to create new creatures. The online could be even drastically improved. So that wasn't a topic I was thinking about talking about. But
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Spore is kind of an
That was a
old
rant.
game too.
That was a rant. Yeah,
That was a
we're gonna
rant,
rant
yeah.
here. Yeah,
That came out in 2008, so it is.
fairly old.
It is actually really old. Like I would have been 9 when this game came out,
Yeah.
so that's almost 10 years ago. That's my age.
It was a game that I played a lot when I was in middle school. I won't give my age. But no, I played a lot of Spore when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
It was one of those games. Because it could run on anything.
Oh yeah, those
Like
Spore.
you could turn the graphics settings down and play it on potato, which I think I did.
Yeah, back in the early
You
days.
see that old white MacBook back there?
I can.
Yeah, that one, like the old white ones, not like the silver ones
Like
that
the
they
old
have.
like Tube Max. Oh no, you mean
No,
like the old?
like the old laptops. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I played Spore on those.
Wow.
Like the old ones that couldn't run very well. Well, they still don't. It runs a switcher now, but but no, it doesn't. It doesn't take much to run it.
Yeah.
Talk about drones. Like
drones?
you mean like the Air Force drones?
I think they mean like worker drones, like in an office where there's just people working on.
Oh yeah, those.
No,
drones.
I think they're obviously.
Well, I've been one of those drones for
I've been an office drone for the past 35 years.
You're that old, are you?
No.
No, I was gonna say.
No.
Well, I don't really know much about drones. I haven't really.
One
of the drones right now I find are at the point of they're too expensive for the average consumer, except if you want like a cheapo one.
cheap.
But when you get a cheaper one, they're not that good.
Yeah.
Like I've seen when I was in Air Cadets, they had a fly night and everyone brought their drones and their planes and stuff like that in them, and they had model planes there. It was really fun actually. And it was interesting to see the different amount of drones, and you would have like the ones like the little tiny itty bitty ones.
Oh yeah.
That are flying around and whatnot. And what are you doing over there?
He was a little drone.
A
He's
tiny,
doing like the,
tiny bitty little drone. Anyway,
This is how drones look.
anyway, you could have like those tiny little ones versus like the big.
Oh, yeah.
I had one of those bigger drones.
You got the ones with like GoPro mounts on them and stuff.
Well, yeah, they got those ones now, which are gaining a lot more popularity. But as Matthew Camo in the chat said, that the ones that you can buy now are $2,000 or more if you want a good one. Like I was in Best Buy the other day and they had one of those DJI ones, and it was a nice drone. It had like the foldable legs and stuff in it, And I was like, oh, this is a kind of neat little drone. Let me see how much it got. And I flipped up the price tag, and it was $1,000 for this little drone boat. I think about that big.
But yay big?
Yeah.
Wow.
It had the gimbal on it and everything like that,
Right.
which was pretty cool. But it's still like it was quite a bit of money for a smaller drone. So
Yeah.
I think the tech is there.
Mm-hmm.
Much like VR, once it becomes cheaper and more ready available, people will start buying it a lot more.
Can I talk about VR? Because
Go right ahead. He's a
a
VR guy, so.
Yeah, no, I'm quite interested in VR. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I started a job at the local library where they have open VR hours, so you can.
You gotta let me
Basically-
know, because I really want to try VR.
Well, if you go on the Annapolis Valley Library website, you can
Plug
actually.
that.
Yeah. Well, I'm working there, so I can do that. That's my sponsorship, the library. They're giving us nothing. Well, they're giving me a job, so.
It's not nothing then.
So, so what you can do is you can phone in and book an hour session for free to try out the HTC Vive they have up in the lab, which is pretty cool. So, as part of my orientation the other day, I got to play with it for about 2.5 hours. I had it on just playing around with things.
Interesting.
And my previous experience with it up until that point was my Horton High School purchased the Dev Kit 2 for the Oculus Rift. And that was one of the earlier mock-ups of it, and it has exploded in quality recently. So they have a few games at the library currently. They have a lot of the free ones. They have, like, The Lab, Google Earth. If it's free, they probably have it downloaded, and they either have to try it and approve it or not. You're not going to get any violent shooter games, because it is a library. But it's good. They have, like, Waltz the Wizard and stuff. That's a fun game.
You have the one with the lightsabers?
They don't have Beat Saber. I might actually pick up a copy of it for the library, because I think it'd be great.
I think that'd be a lot of fun, yeah.
So Beat Sabers is...
Invest it back into the community.
Yep. So Beat Sabers is sort of like a Dance Dance Revolution style game, except you have lightsabers, and you have to slash the blocks in different directions to a beat. And it's pretty good, actually, if you want to, on your own time, open up another tab.
Yeah, Google it.
You can
YouTube that.
Google it. There's tons of
Lot of
stuff, like custom maps and stuff.
Go on Reddit. You'll see it everywhere.
Yeah. So the only problem with VR at the moment is the price, because
I have the computer that can do it.
you have the computer can do it, but you also have like a
But
$2,000+ computer.
No,
No,
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, I dumped a lot of
That's
money. into that
2,000 plus.
Well,
Yeah, wow.
but it's 4,000 plus.
Yeah. Now, mind you, that's not minimum spec.
No, it's I won't go into it, but yeah.
Well, let me put it this way: the Vive alone is gonna put you back about $800, so it's kind of costly to get into. Except Oculus just released Oculus Go, which is pretty interesting. Have you heard of this?
No, it was news to me.
It is a standalone headset, so you don't need a computer for it at all. So you just put on the headset, and it's got one controller, and it's just VR. It's running off of the... it's got some cell phone style components in it.
Yeah.
But as far as like the lenses and hardware and stuff, it's a $200 Oculus Rift with some decent games on it. You're not going to get any of like the Skyrim VR or anything like that on there, but there are some pretty enjoyable experiences on it.
Interesting. Like I've tried Google Daydream, as well as the Google Cardboard. I've done both of them, and I've had a lot of fun with that. But it's all on the phone, and the phone's getting better displays now. It's just I don't know. It's not the full experience that you get with a full VR system. Smooth. Is it okay?
That's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I'm interested. I haven't tried the Oculus Go myself, so I can't endorse it full-heartedly, but it seems to be a step in the right direction. And the reason I'm excited about that is because they're working on their prototype called Oculus Santa Cruz. There's no information about this yet. We're expecting more in, I think, October or September when they do their Oculus conference. But we're expecting a PC-quality VR experience, standalone in a headset.
That'd be cool. That'd be great.
It'd be great. I think that's what a lot of people are holding out for VR now, because they don't want to shell out a few thousand for a computer if they just want to play VR.
Yeah.
And
that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll talk about.
Sorry.
What was that I just saw?
I think Brian's just putting in.
And our sponsor, Wild Open Media, we're very grateful to have them.
You didn't see anything at all. I would like to talk about drones for just a moment. I find personally, and I got to talk loud because I'm not by the mic, but I find personally that the laws and regulations are getting so bad now. I have one, and I apply it because I'm a videographer, but I'm almost nervous of somebody knocking into the sky or getting the police to take me away in handcuffs. I'm really terrified to fly the thing nowadays because of all the laws, and people just seem to hate them. There's an anti-drone thing going on right now. So yeah, I'm a little terrified to fly it, but I do it for business because I'm a videographer. What can I say? Oh, wild-looking media. Back to you guys.
Okay.
Trying. Back to you guys.
And thank you, Brian, for that interjection.
Thank you, Brian.
So
just my point of view.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about cell phones, because we're ending the halfway. We're getting close to the end of the halfway point here in the year, and of course, with it's not E3 but Q3. When Q3 comes up, new phones are released. It's September time usually. The Pixel 3 is coming out. So the Pixel series, Google's flagship phone that they're actually producing, it's got a notch in it.
It's got a notch?
It's got a notch.
What's a notch? Like an arrow notch?
No, it's the notch in the top of the screen. Here, I'll show you a picture. Hold on.
Pull up a picture of it, because I can't... Why would you put a notch? Like, you mean like a physical indentation?
No. It's like, the top of your phone.
Yeah.
Right, where you have like the camera and whatnot. Instead of having it like a full screen, because what they want to do is they want to have the full screen on it. They just have this notch instead. So rather than having this hole as like a bar at the top, it's got a notch in it. And
I see.
And it's
okay.
frustrating, because all these phones are going. I gotta find a good picture here that I can put up here for everyone. But those who have been in the kind of like the consumer, here we go. This is the actual one that was, but those who have been keeping up with the whole industry of, okay. I didn't realize you're doing that. Okay, there we go.
We're talking about it. We gotta show it.
Yeah. So those who actually have been keeping up with it, the whole notch thing is one of those things that people either really like it or they really don't.
Yeah.
And personally, I really don't. Simply because, like, I understand the whole need of having the full screen of the phone. I have the S9 Plus, and I really like the Infinity Edge on it. Like, as you can see, like, it's got like the whole curved edges on it, which are really nice. Which, geez, a lot of notifications. Which is a really nice feature, but the point of having a screen is not to have anything intruding, and that was the whole thing about the iPhone X. A lot of people actually did not like the iPhone X simply because it had the notch in it. And I've played around with it, and when you expand the YouTube video to watch the YouTube video, it's got this notch in it.
Right, I can see that being a bother.
Problem. Yeah, it's a bother, and a lot of people. I personally don't like it. Some people do, because it actually does. It does actually pose some adding. It actually has some additive stuff to it, because now you get like your information, like your notifications and your battery life and whatnot up the top there. But it's just not. I don't know. Like, I'd rather have the full bezel at the top. So also, because if you think about it, having the bezel up there, if you turn it sideways, if you're playing a game or whatnot, you don't have to worry about touching the screen, part of the screen that you don't want to touch.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm partial between it. I don't like it. Now, the Google Pixel 3, the smaller one does not have the notch in it. The bigger one does, but the smaller one does not.
So is the only difference between the two the size and the bezel?
There's more than...
There's more.
We don't really know as much, but there's most likely going to be more in there.
All right.
Simply because that, there's always going to be more. What I do like, though, is the dual front-facing speakers, similar to what I got in the S9 Plus. The cameras, I think it's going to have 2 cameras up front. So you can actually do, like, the whole AR thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Because everyone's trying to compete with AR emojis from iPhone X, which is another thing I don't agree on.
Have you seen the latest thing from Apple? It's called Memoji.
No. I should have probably seen that. Memoji?
No, I just saw this in passing. So, Snapchat, you're familiar with, they have their thing called BitMe or something like that, where you create like a little avatar of yourself. And There's a few. It's like that, but for the
Yeah.
like stock emoji keyboard on the iPhone, I believe.
Really?
So
Oh, well, Samsung has that too.
do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you go in, you take it. Well, Samsung is now competing with Apple, but I guess Apple was like, hey, we need that too. But no, you can create your own sticker and then send your sticker or emoji that is like your customized face in a different manner rather than just taking a picture of yourself on Snapchat and sending it to someone, with your fake expression instead of using an emoji. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't feel like with these AR emojis and stuff like that and just foolish, little features like that, I don't agree that, they're not going the right direction.
They're more gimmicks than anything actually
That's
useful
exactly what
for
they
people,
are.
right?
Yeah.
Like, as cool as it is to have your face as, like, the chicken emoji saying something goofy, you're going to use it maybe once or twice when you get the device, and then you're not going to use it at all.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's... It's not a good business practice, I don't think.
Well, it's a good business practice because people are buying them.
Oh, it's a great business practice.
it's just not... Again, people will go and buy it for something and then not use it. I remember I went and got... Years ago, I got the Note 4, the old Samsung Note 4, and liked it because it had the stylus. I liked the stylus on it, and because Snapchat was fairly new back then, I could use the stylus to actually draw on it, and used it once, and it was a neat feature. But I just use the stylus a lot. Don't get me wrong, the notes are wonderful things. It's very useful if you do have a note, and you want to take notes on it, like it. Meant to be, but it was just, yeah. I like my phones thick. It's THIC. Get it right.
Is that me?
Oh, that's Yusuf. That's
Is it?
a friend of mine. Yeah.
It's the family show, by the way.
Alrighty.
Actually, that's actually a very good point. Pirate Wool says, "Does size matter when it comes to phones?" I would have to agree. Yes. Because personally, I like to watch YouTube and Netflix on my phone, and I like a bigger screen.
Now, you see, for me, I have an iPad that I use, so whenever I want to watch a video or something, I'll sit and I'll have that open. Whereas I like a smaller phone, like an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because I pull it out, I send a message.
And put it back in your pocket.
Or I use it for music.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a huge brick in my pocket when I'm going for a walk up and down the driveway or something, right?
Yeah. That's totally fair. Like, it all depends on the user preference, to be honest. And having like again, going back to the Pixel, having the Pixel versus the Pixel XL, you have a choice. And I think it's good to have choices, options, and everything like that. Having a bigger phone versus having a smaller phone, and I think it's a good thing to have. Depending on the size of like the thickness, that all depends on the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Thick. You can see like I remember working at not a retailer but as a technical specialist at a company up in the
You were
valley
doing
here.
like the phone-in tech support stuff, right?
Exactly. I was doing tech support. We had phones on the floor, and I remember having the cat phone. Like Caterpillar. No, not that kind of cat. Like Caterpillar, like the company that makes the bulldozers and that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they make phones, and they're super rugged.
Well, that makes sense. You would need something more rugged if you're working out on the job.
Yeah.
You can pull up a picture there.
I'm going to, yeah. Just give me a second here.
That does make sense. You got to remember that a lot of these products
This is
are
it
more
here.
specialized. Oh, wow.
It is super rugged. Oh, no, hold on. That's not the right one.
That's not the right one.
Don't show my screen yet. Hold on.
We can just pull up the Google, or the Goo. The Goo.
There we go.
DuckDuckGo.
I'm going to show that one.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. So it's super rugged. It's water resistant. I'm not sure exactly how water resistant it is, but it's also extremely old. I think it runs KitKat, which is like 5 generations old now, something like that.
But realistically, you aren't going to be doing a lot of the modern
So that's
things.
actually a phone, then. That's not just a case.
No, it's a phone.
Oh.
It's a full-size phone. Yeah, it's
And
about
ask.
that tall, but it's like that thick. It's
Wow.
crazy. But it had like I think it had like really good battery life in it. It had a replaceable battery. I think it could expand into the storage. It was a really neat phone for its time. But phones are becoming super thin, and now every phone is practically waterproof.
Yeah.
And it's quite neat actually.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Carton brought up an interesting thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about the Bethesda conference, is that similar to how they released Fallout Shelter, they're releasing Elder Scroll Blades on the phone. It's a mobile platform. But it's not just on the phone platform, it's on the PC and VR too.
Interesting.
So I haven't really been up to date on that, but I believe it's sort of like a one-hand hack and slash. You go through a dungeon and do whatever. It's a weird direction, I think. I think they are just sort of trying to drum up interest in Elder Scrolls for people that haven't before. Like, similar to what they did with Fallout Shelters. I had friends who never played Fallout but really enjoyed the mobile game. So I think they're trying to draw in people that way.
Yeah. That makes sense, though.
Mind you, this game's going to be free, so you can try it out when it comes out. I think you can sign up for the beta on the Bethesda website.
Betas are always nice.
Betas are always very nice.
Yeah. What else? We excited for Elder Scrolls 3? Or 6?
3. This is 6.
Elder Scrolls 6. I'm currently...
I am excited for the new Elder Scrolls game myself.
I'm currently still playing Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is.
Well, I mean, like, I haven't got through it yet.
Like, Todd Howard today, I believe it was an interview came live that I read. He said, we're going to stop releasing Skyrim when you stop buying Skyrim.
Yeah,
because it's
and
on
people
everything
won't stop
right
buying
now.
Skyrim.
And they did that video for the E3 conference.
Yeah. Did you see the Skyrim for, was it Amazon Alexa or something?
Amazon Alexa and the fridge and pager and all that stuff.
That was a brilliant commercial.
Yeah.
I love that commercial.
It was funny because it is sort of true. And you can actually get it on the Alexa.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. It was actually true. I thought it was like an April Fool's joke, but nope.
Nope.
So if anyone doesn't know, anyone hasn't caught up, what's his name?
Todd Howard.
Todd Howard?
Not Ron Howard. That's the Arrested Development guy.
They went and shot a commercial where basically making fun of the joke that where Skyrim is available on anything because they're basically launching it for everything now. I think it's not even on the Switch.
It's on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's on PC, console.
Just about everything you can think of.
Technically on the mobile phone now.
Technically on mobile phone. Yeah. So they're making fun of it, saying, "Why not put it on Amazon Alexa?"
So like, Alexa, play Skyrim.
Oh, we just triggered like 9 people's Alexas.
Exactly. Google, download Skyrim.
Downloading now.
There we go. So yeah, so it's definitely interesting. As far as Elder Scrolls 6 goes, I would think it'd be fun.
I think, I mean,
if they don't introduce multiplayer,
it's one of those things where they haven't
know?
started development on it, so you can't say if you're excited or not for it. I really liked Skyrim. I think Skyrim is almost completely unique for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something in it for even people that don't really like video games. Like, I have a friend who really likes Skyrim just to go in and read the books, for example.
Yeah.
Or people that just want to go in and look at the mountains or something.
A lot of development in those games.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Even Fallout has that sort of stuff in it, right?
Even Fallout, not so much 4, but like 3 in New Vegas.
Yeah, it had a lot of backstory.
A lot of backstory.
Like, the universe was large. Like Mass Effect.
I've never played Mass Effect.
You have got to play Mass Effect.
I'll put it on my
I'll lend you
list.
my Xbox and the pack, because it is brilliant.
Alrighty.
I'm still working through Mass Effect 3, and I have Andromeda on queue, because through the Origin Access I got them through. But it's like you play the first one, and it's like, wow, that was an amazing game. Then you play the second one, it's like, wow, this was even better. And you play the third one, it's like, it's crazy. It's an amazing game, amazing series of games. I'd recommend it to anybody. If you like storyline, if you like gameplay, if you like action and like shoot 'em ups and stuff like that, play the third one. Because the first two are not so good on that. But Mass Effect was a lot of fun, and I haven't heard a lot about Andromeda. Like, I've heard very mixed reviews on it.
People either like it or they really don't.
Yeah, it's almost like the new step into the series, like kind of like what they did with Star Wars. Either people really like it, or they really don't.
And you're gonna find people doing that for any sort of field, right?
Of course.
Like, nobody likes change. Actually, as a fun sort of aside here, a part of my job working in the tech area is I have to make my first thing I have to do is that we got a new shipment of new Windows 10 computers. and I have to replace them with the old ones because Solitaire doesn't work good on the Windows 10 computers.
I wonder why. I wonder because it's maybe Windows 10?
It's Windows 10.
Windows 10 doesn't work on anything?
So it's really, people don't like change, and you sort of have to accommodate that in any field, really.
Oh, yeah.
So
Especially in tech support and IT and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, no, it's interesting.
Yeah.
One of the Mass Effect Andromeda is bad. Don't play it. The rest were better. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I can't vouch, but I've heard very mixed reviews on Andromeda. So
I've heard bad things about it mostly, to be honest.
yeah.
Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's go on the Steam.
Oh, it's not on Steam.
It's not on Steam.
No.
I
think it's on Origin, I think it's on Origin.
I was gonna say we could
online.
go up on the Steam reviews and see what other
Maybe
people
we'll throw
thought
it
of
up
it.
on Origin though. Hold on.
All right. Does Origin have like a commenting section?
I
on there?
believe so.
Ooh.
Hold on. You talk about something and I'll pull this up.
All right. Talking about something, eh? I don't do much. That's the only problem. I've already talked about like the past 3 months of my life.
Oh, did you hear Anthem?
Anthem, I have not
Yeah.
heard about.
Oh, okay, never mind that.
Okay, I can't talk about
Madden
that.
19.
Yes, I'm actually an expert on Madden 19. Madden 19 is...
I have over 1,000 hours in Madden 19.
I am actually a pretty big football star myself. The 19th iteration in the Madden series is my particular favorite. I like how those men throw that ball down the field.
Features overview? No.
Fight fiercely, Madden. Fight, fight, fight. Demonstrate to them our will. Can we pull that up now?
I'm trying to, but I don't think there's anything like any reviews
There's
or
some
anything
reviews?
on here. No. Doesn't look like there is.
That would have been a funny bit.
That would have been, yeah.
Great.
Take on a new galaxy.
Take on a new galaxy in Mass Effect Andromeda.
System requirements.
What are the requirements? If you're gonna
Windows 7, 8.1, or 10.
say? Alrighty.
64-bit apparently.
Ooh.
64-bit Windows 7, sorry. Intel Core i5 3570 or AMD FX 6350. 8 gigs of RAM. For the video card, we got a GTX 660, 2 gigs. I got a 460. AMD Radeon 7850, 2 gig. At least 55 gigs of free space. What? And DirectX 11.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I've noticing that with the newer games is that it's gone from like 5 gigabytes to like 60 gigabytes of space
102
needed.
gigabyte. There was, I remember it was one of the games that I was playing, and it was like 105 or something like that. I forget which one it was, but it was one of the newer ones. I was like, what? What are you loading? What do you need for all of that?
Very
crazy.
important files. So have you heard of Cyberpunk 2077?
Yes.
I have not, personally. I know a little bit about it. I'll say what I know, and maybe you can fill me in on what I'm
Sure.
missing.
I don't know. There wasn't a lot of information they gave out.
They didn't. I know they showed a trailer video for it.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
So
all it
I know
was,
it's
yeah.
made by CD Projekt Red, and I believe they are the ones that made Witcher 3.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
All right. And it's sort of like a cyberpunk, futuristic... Well, it's like a retro
It's gonna be Witcher, but with tech.
It's sort of
Maybe.
that cyberpunk aesthetic of like neon and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
It's going back to the vaporwave for you '90s kids out there.
I really like the vaporwave aesthetic, like the whole...
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well, if
great.
anyone, if you've ever seen, what was it, Kung Fury? On
I've
YouTube.
seen-
Are you kidding me?
Bits and pieces of Kung Fury.
There was one of them. It was I think it was a remake or something like that. Wait, hold on, YouTube.
It's terrible.
I don't think it's the same Kung Fury as you know.
I like that they
I hope
got David Hasselhoff to do a music video for one of their songs from the movie.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pop this link in the chat.
All right.
So this is Kung Fury. For anyone who doesn't know what vaporwave is, it's the kind of style like this. It's very very similar.
It's like that retro aesthetic.
Yeah, retro aesthetic. Just Google search vaporwave. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else can we talk about?
I see.
Oh my.
We've still got 10 minutes to kill, Glenn. Surely we can think of something to talk
I
about.
think of something to talk about.
Gumby.
And we'll say again our sponsor spot, because we only have one. Thanks to Wild Open Media for lending us the space and the internet and the everything else, except for the laptop. The laptops are ours.
This is mine.
This is his. That's mine.
Oh, for anyone wondering, I've got this logo on the back of my laptop here. This isn't anything nefarious. It's for the SCP Foundation. Have you heard of that before, Glenn?
You've told me about it.
All right.
It's the only reason I know about it.
Well, the SCP Foundation is a fictional Wikipedia-style website, and the main purpose of it is people can submit their own reports on fictional paranormal entities and like science logs about how you would deal with it or containment procedures, and it's very interesting because you can get pretty deep in it, and it's one of those sites that you can get lost in for a long period of time, and they're all very creatively written.
If you like to read.
If you like to read. Thanks, Brian, for the horse.
You don't know what horse that is?
It's Pokey. I know it's Pokey.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, no, SCP is great. I got the sticker from my friend who ordered a pack of, I think, 50.
And if you see the sticker on the back of my computer, it's not really a sticker. It's actually a shiny metal object from Microsoft.
Because that's
It's a
who made...
Surface Pro. Yeah, it's
That's
the
who made
one-
your computer. See, mine's covering up the Apple logo.
I actually do have my Linux laptop
Ooh.
that has a Razer sticker and half the logo missing from Asus.
Well, see, I don't have a second laptop up screen
No.
to show off a different sticker, but...
That's the one I use for Linux stuff, in case I need to, I don't know, Linux something up.
Like upload Ubuntu or something. I don't use Linux myself,
It's
so I
Debian.
don't...
I run Debian.
It's Debian?
I run Arch Linux.
Okay.
If anyone who knows what I'm talking about, yeah.
I actually run a specialized version of Linux
Well,
used
see,
exclusively in
Arch
the
Linux is
database.
super hard to install. 'Cause
Oh,
you
it
actually
is?
have to you have to actually build it.
Oh, you have to build it?
Yeah, so you have to when you install it, it's a terminal,
Okay.
and then you have to go in, download it from a repository,
All right.
build it, and then install it
Oof.
using the commands in the terminal. Yeah, it's not like
That
it's just
sounds-
a point and click install.
That's interesting. So what
Now,
can you
Gentoo is even worse, but I won't get into that.
So what can you do with Arch Linux?
Just about anything you can do with regular Linux.
Series of hand signals as if I'm talking about something really cool. Like, holy cow, I can't believe you never talked about that before, Glenn. I can't believe that this is something that we would have talked about on the tech channel, and that if we were muted, people would have never known about.
Right. That is very true, Aiden. I'm glad we discussed that. That's all you're going to get out of me.
And now I'm going to be fake mad for a second. Alright. Still no update on whether we're muted or not. That might be a bit slow.
Are you getting sound from us?
Yeah.
Alright.
You're
Okay.
back. I know what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
My bad.
We're back now. Sorry for the technical difficulty. We were talking about Linux.
Yeah, so
So we'll
nothing
skip right over
important.
that. Yeah, nothing important. Although Linux sucks.
Yes.
But it's also good.
And we are back. Fantastic.
You are interesting, man.
Wait, someone knows what they're doing?
Not really.
Oh my.
And
We can
we're
hear you
back.
again. Okay, good.
That's great.
Perfect. Okay, so
7 minutes left.
7 minutes left, and we had audio issues. Glad this is the first episode,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The gold standard.
Gold standard. Another thing.
You ever played Paper Please, Glenn?
Yes.
Have you
It's a lot
seen
of
the short film they released for Papers, Please?
No, I haven't.
It's a recent thing in the past couple of months, and you can watch it for free on YouTube. It's about half an hour long, and it's just sort of a fictional look on the Papers, Please universe.
Interesting.
It's filmed in Russian, so it's got subtitles. But for those of you that aren't familiar, Papers, Please is a border control management simulator where you're giving passports and you either approve them or you deny them entry. And there's different sort of gray areas.
There's more to it
There's
than
more
that,
to it.
but that's basically the whole game, yeah.
You have to deal with like moral gray issues, and it's...
I believe it's sort of based on, isn't it like Berlin or Soviet Russia or something
It's
like
based
that?
on a fictional
Version of that. or
fictional
something.
Cold War-esque,
Yeah.
like after a war where tensions are still kind of rough between two countries. It's really great, and if you haven't played it and are into that sort of thing, it's definitely something worth checking out.
It's a good game. I played it. I didn't beat it, but I did play quite a bit of it. Yeah.
I recently picked it up on the iPad because they released it there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to check it out.
That's something interesting. I don't know if you have an iPad you use
Nope.
yourself, but I
Android.
recently got an iPad myself. And a lot of the hit Steam games that sort of work well in that file are being uploaded onto the App Store.
Yeah.
So I've got like Don't Starve, Faster Than Light.
Yeah. I could see that though. A lot of people are getting into the mobile games. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we should talk about. Since we were talking about phones, we should talk about the Asus phone.
Asus?
ROG phone.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an actual gaming phone.
Yeah, so ROG stands for Republic of Gamers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a
Republic of
gaming
Gamers.
phone.
Let me look it up here. I'll get a picture here. ROG phone. It is so it's a gaming phone, sort of very close to the Razer phone.
Yeah.
Because the Razer phone was more based around gamers, but this phone is a bit different. Is this it's Geek Culture? Hold on, let me find a good one here for us. But basically, it's got a lot of power to it, and there's a lot of accessories that actually make it a lot more interesting. Is that Asus? I don't even know. Yeah, Asus ROG phone. I can't even find a good picture of it. Here's the back of it.
Okay. Well, the back's the most important part of a
Yeah.
phone because that's what everyone else sees.
I'm gonna screen cap that there, Dad.
So while you're doing that, I have a comment here from Hans von Owls, who's asking, you guys think more games will use NVIDIA Ansel in the
Ooh.
future? So do you know what NVIDIA Ansel is,
I'm not
Glenn?
too sure, no.
I just pulled up a YouTube, or not a YouTube, I Googled it because I wasn't certain of it. It's a screen cap program that creates a 360-degree image of the game. So there's...
Oh, okay.
You use like a mobile phone to like scan around
Yeah,
where you are.
yeah.
I haven't heard of that before. I hope it catches on and becomes more popular. 'Cause that
So it'd be
sounds...
almost kind of like the PlayStation VR sort of thing, like where you sit down with the controller, or
Yeah,
sort of something like
well,
that.
it's not like a standalone. Well, I guess it is a standalone program. So you can be like playing The Witcher 3 is the example they have.
Yeah, in VR. Or...
Yeah, and then use an Ansel screen cap and then sort of put on your headset, and that sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah, that might take off. Again, if VR goes down in price and takes off, sort of like the drone thing. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Well, with the Oculus Go, even.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, that's interesting.
Well, if this supports mobile phone, PC, or VR headset, so it should
Interesting.
work on the Oculus Go.
Yeah.
I think the Oculus Go is really going to find its sort of niche appeal among people that, I guess, are on the go. Like, if you're going around doing demos, it's going to be popular. And I think
Yeah.
it's going to be great for, like, plane rides and stuff. You can put on your headset, and you've got a private movie theater to yourself.
Yeah.
For instance.
Excuse me. I actually use Google Daydream a lot for that.
Oh, yeah?
So, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the Asus phone.
Oh, yes.
I'm just gonna wait for it to switch.
Do, do, do.
We got a screen that we're watching back here. So there we go. Okay.
Hey.
So this is the Asus phone. So this is the back of it actually. So basically what we're looking at, I believe it's a dual camera system.
Yep.
Of course, because every phone has to have a dual camera system for now.
And that's great for, like,
No.
3D photos and stuff, I think.
No.
No?
They can't do that. My phone can't do 3D
You
photos
can't do
like
3D
that. No.
photos?
No, believe it or not.
My Nintendo
Well, good for
3DS
you. You
can
got
do
3
3D
cameras
photos.
though. You got 3 cameras.
For, like, AR stuff.
Yeah, AR stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
they're more like for like one's like a high dynamic range. One's more of like a closer like zoom in, stuff like that. So, but as we can see here, we have actually ventilation holes here, and there's actually a thing that can snap on here and on the other side of the phone here. So like snap right on the back. So basically, the phone turns into like a mobile. It almost looks like a switch.
Okay.
Because you can get like two things for either side of it, like two controllers for each side of it.
I
So
see.
you can actually play it almost like a switch,
That's
which is very interesting.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that more people are adopting that sort of mindset of like
Yeah.
controllers.
Controllers and whatnot. There is one where I believe it actually has a controller, and on the bottom actually has a screen. Let me see if I can pull up that image here. Oh, I zoomed in. I didn't want that. How do I get out of this? There we go. Just give me a second. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
So this is the one with this controller on either side of it. It kind of looks like a switch with the phone in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to see if I can find the one with the actual controller. Here's the one with the back, because it also does come with or you can also pick up a back for it that actually has active cooling, as well as it puts the ports down at the bottom, so like your headphone jack and your charging port. Because on a regular phone, as you can see, it only has on the side, so if you're like playing a game, you can't really charge it unless you like have your hand in a really weird way.
And that was part of the criticism of the Switch, I believe, is that it had the charging port on the bottom, so you couldn't set it up
Yeah,
and charge it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, it is 7:30, which I think
Oh, it
is
is
our end time.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so we'll talk about that later.
We'll can it for now, because God knows we'll need more content if we do this again.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
What about the Razer phone? We'll talk about the Razer phone next week, because that's kind of old news. Sorry.
Eh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, it was launched a few months ago. Anyway,
Okay.
so thank you for watching. If you
Thank you.
liked the episode, please leave a like, subscribe to Glenn's Tech channel for more upcoming events. Who knows? I might actually do a live stream of Mario Kart again. Well, we'll see what happens. If you have any questions, comments, or anything that you want to suggest for next week's show, please leave a comment below. And I hope you have an amazing week.
I hope you have a better month. You can end the stream now, Brian.
I'm doing the weird show. I'm gonna end the stream. Ross? I need some more water.